Picture a modern warship bristling with missiles and sensors, slicing through the ocean, its hull cutting through the waves under a cloak of darkness, every system alive with technology. Its every move is guided by GPS, a silent partner in every maneuver, every course correction, every mission. For decades, GPS has been the backbone of naval power, silently enabling precision, coordination, and global reach. It's the invisible thread tying together fleets across vast oceans, making modern warfare possible. But GPS is not invincible. In war, it becomes a target, an Achilles heel that adversaries are eager to exploit. An enemy can jam the signal, flooding the airwaves with noise and confusion. Or worse, they can spoof it, feeding false coordinates, tricking a ship's systems and sending it off course, straight into danger or an ambush. Suddenly, a billion-dollar vessel is blind, its weapons useless, its crew adrift in digital darkness, cut off from the world and from each other. This isn't science fiction. It's a real and growing threat that haunts naval commanders and strategists around the globe. The reliance on space-based navigation is now a critical vulnerability, an Achilles heel for even the mightiest fleets, making them susceptible to invisible attacks. A fleet could be neutralized without a shot fired, crippled by electronic attack, left powerless in hostile waters. Crews might fall back on ancient navigation, sextants, stars, and charts, but in the chaos of modern conflict, that's a losing bet. A desperate measure in a digital age. The race is on to build warships that can fight and navigate when the digital lights go out, using new technologies and old wisdom combined. A navy that can sever its enemy's GPS link holds a decisive edge, creating chaos, dictating the fight, and rendering even the most advanced weapons useless in a heartbeat. The quest for GPS-independent navigation is now a strategic imperative, driving innovation and fierce competition among the world's navies. The nation that masters it will not only protect its own forces, but wield a powerful new weapon, one that could decide the fate of battles and wars. The future belongs to navies that can make their own luck, even in the darkest electronic night, when every other light has gone out. China's drive for navigational independence began with a shock in 1996. During the Third Taiwan Strait crisis, U.S. carrier groups arrived, and reports suggest the U.S. degraded GPS signals, causing Chinese missiles to miss. Whether deliberate or not, the message was clear. China's military was dependent on a system controlled by its rival. The U.S. held the master switch, able to deny China the technology it needed most. This vulnerability struck at the heart of China's sovereignty and military ambitions. The incident became a catalyst, sparking a national push to break free from foreign-controlled systems. China's new goal: build a military that could stand alone with its own navigation technology. Massive investment followed, aiming for total independence. First, China needed its own satellite navigation system. Second, it had to develop ways to operate even if all satellites were denied. True independence meant navigating in a complete blackout, a challenge that would drive decades of innovation. China's answer to GPS is the Beidou navigation satellite system, a technological leap that has transformed the nation's strategic capabilities. Developed over decades, Beidou is a symbol of China's ambition to achieve independence in critical infrastructure and reduce reliance on foreign systems. What started as a regional project in the early 2000s has rapidly evolved into a global network of over 30 satellites, fully operational since 2020. Today, Beidou covers the entire planet, providing navigation, positioning, and timing services to millions of users worldwide. For China's military, Beidou delivers a secure, sovereign source of navigation and timing, no longer reliant on the Pentagon's GPS. This independence is crucial for national security, especially in times of tension or conflict. But Beidou is more than just a GPS clone. It features unique two-way communication, allowing ships and vehicles to send encrypted messages directly through the satellite network, a capability that gives commanders real-time updates, even in remote or contested areas. This redundancy means a fleet can confirm its position and status, even if traditional communication networks are disrupted or destroyed, ensuring operational continuity in the harshest conditions. Military-grade encryption and advanced anti-jamming features make Beidou highly resilient in the face of electronic warfare, protecting critical data from interception or interference. By controlling every part of the system, from satellites to ground stations, China ensures its forces have reliable navigation and communication, even during the chaos of war. Yet, Chinese strategists are well aware that satellites remain vulnerable to jamming, cyber attacks, or even direct physical strikes from anti-satellite weapons. That's why Beidou is just one layer of a much larger strategy. The ultimate goal is a warship that can navigate with precision even if every satellite in orbit goes dark. The next wave of technology is moving navigation from the sky to the ship itself, using advanced sensors, gyroscopes, and artificial intelligence to maintain accuracy without external signals. The future of naval warfare may depend on what happens when the satellites are gone, when ships must rely on their own onboard systems to survive and fight. China is already building that future, investing heavily in next-generation navigation technology to ensure its navy remains a formidable force, no matter what challenges lie ahead. When satellite signals vanish, a warship must rely on itself. Enter the Inertial Navigation System, or INS, a high-tech internal compass using accelerometers and gyroscopes to track every movement. Traditional INS suffered from drift, tiny errors that grew over time, making them unreliable for long missions. China's breakthrough ultra-precise sensors and advanced algorithms that dramatically reduce drift. Modern Chinese warships now use state-of-the-art INS with ring laser or fiber optic gyros and powerful processors. These systems can keep a ship on course for days or weeks without a satellite fix. It's a quiet revolution, giving ships the confidence to fight and maneuver even in a GPS-denied environment. Accurate navigation means effective weapons, coordination, and survival. The new INS is a game-changer, ensuring Chinese warships never lose their way, even when the stars are hidden. In the age of electronic warfare, this internal compass is a decisive edge. Knowing your position is vital, but truly understanding your surroundings is just as crucial for survival at sea. In the ever-changing maritime environment, visibility and awareness can mean the difference between safety and disaster. Enter photonic sensors and multispectral imaging, advanced systems that harness light across the entire spectrum, from visible to infrared and ultraviolet, to map and interpret the environment in remarkable detail. These sensors can spot the heat signature of an engine from miles away, detect the faint wake of a submerged submarine, and distinguish real ships from decoys or false targets, even in challenging conditions. Photonic sensors feed massive streams of data into the ship's combat system, where information is fused and analyzed to create a detailed, reliable, and constantly updated battlespace picture. Unlike radar alone, multispectral imaging can see through electronic countermeasures and identify stealth threats that would otherwise remain hidden, giving navies a critical edge. The ship essentially becomes its own sensor platform, able to independently track, identify, and target enemies without relying on vulnerable satellite input or external data feeds. Systems like these are now being built into China's newest warships, designed to operate with a high degree of autonomy and resilience in contested environments. Even if cut off from external networks or communications, the ship can still see, assess, and react to threats in real time, maintaining its combat effectiveness. This photonic revolution adds a crucial new layer of independence from vulnerable satellites, making warships less susceptible to electronic warfare or space-based attacks. The warship becomes a truly self-sufficient hunter, ready to operate in the fog of electronic war and prepared for whatever the future of naval combat may bring. Advanced sensors and navigation systems generate a flood of data, far too much for any human crew to process in battle. Artificial intelligence is the digital brain that ties it all together. On Chinese warships, AI fuses data from INS, photonic sensors, sonar, and radar into a unified tactical picture. If the INS drifts, AI can use visual landmarks to recalibrate, no GPS needed. AI also analyzes enemy movements, predicts threats, and recommends actions, giving commanders instant data-driven options. The captain remains in command, but AI provides the edge in speed and accuracy. If a sensor is jammed or destroyed, AI adapts, reconfiguring the system to rely on others. This self-correcting, resilient architecture is what makes true GPS independence possible. AI transforms advanced hardware into a smart, thinking warship. In the chaos of modern combat, that intelligence could mean survival. The Chinese Type 055 destroyer is the embodiment of this new philosophy. More than a warship, it's a statement designed for navigational independence and information dominance. With integrated dual-band radar, advanced INS, and multispectral sensors, Its systems are fused by AI for real-time decision-making. The Type 055 can operate as part of a fleet or as a lone wolf, cut off from all external signals. Its own sensors and AI build a complete picture of the battle space, guiding it with precision. This ship is built to fight in the harshest electronic environments, challenging the U.S. Navy's traditional strengths. The Type 055 is a glimpse into the future of maritime conflict. In a world where GPS can be denied, resilience and independence are the new superpowers. The next era of sea power is already here. GPS-independent warships mark a fundamental shift in naval power. The U.S. Navy's dominance relied on information superiority, enabled by GPS and satellites. China's new capabilities threaten to level the playing field, especially in the Western Pacific. In a conflict, China could create a GPS-denied bubble, degrading U.S. and allied effectiveness. Chinese warships, built for this environment, could press their advantage. This technology could spark a global arms race, as navies rush to develop GPS-independent systems. The definition of a modern navy is changing. Soon, operating in a satellite blackout will be essential. The impact goes beyond the military. Global shipping and commerce depend on GPS. Widespread jamming could cause chaos at sea and in the economy. The future of secure trade may depend on these military innovations. We stand at the threshold of a new maritime era. China's GPS-independent warships force a rethink of sea power and global security. The ability to operate in digital darkness is now the high ground in naval warfare. This raises urgent questions. Can the U.S. adapt fast enough? Will future battles be fought in the electromagnetic spectrum before the first missile flies? As military and civilian systems blur, new rules may be needed to govern electronic warfare at sea. The race for navigational supremacy is about control, resilience, and influence. Who will master these technologies and how will they reshape the world? The answers will define the next chapter of global power.